been on the market. So AI is everywhere right now. People are worried about losing their jobs to the AI. People are using AI to improve their work performance. People are using AI to educate themselves and for their career growth. So being an Agilist, I decided to run a small experiment and become somebody else for a day. So let's meet Richard. He's a modern day businessman who encountered the VUCA world. And his business is in a pickle. And he really needed a successful software solution to stay relevant on the market. So how he does that? Agile. We know that Agile makes stuff happen, right? So he sent his team to learn about Agile, and himself he decided to learn how to fund an Agile project. And he used ChatGPT for that. So without further ado, how to screw up Agile funding using AI's wisdom of the crowd. So the very first thing that you encounter when you start learning about Agile funding is something called Agile Triangle. So what's Agile Triangle? He asked ChatGPT. And the answer was fixed value, flexible time and cost, and variable quality. And he really looked, where's the difference from the iron triangle? So nothing pretty much changed, he thought, right? The fixed value is pretty much the same as a fixed scope. It's a set of requirements, user stories, we estimate time and cost, and we also have variable quality. So we can have some wiggle room to succeed, right? So the next thing he asked is how to budget an Agile project. And ChatGPT not only provided the high-level steps, it actually gave an entire example of how to do that. Define high-level requirements, estimate the velocity of the team, estimate the workload required, calculate the duration, calculate the cost, and build the budget. Thank God it makes sense, Richard thought. Right? He really expected the process to be significantly different, but it wasn't. It was the same predictive process that he used for years. But being a good manager, he asked how to fail Agile funding. So the ChatGPT knew exactly how to do it, right? It's failing to fund the initial costs, such as infrastructure, tools, and Sprint Zero. What's a Sprint Zero, he asked. Sprint Zero is essential foundation of a successful Agile project. Thank God people from Scrum are not in the crowd right now. So Richard, being a good manager, he led the discussion at the Sprint Zero meeting. He made sure that everybody did their job, doing the estimates, calculating, predicting everything they could. So the next question was, what are the two best metrics to use in the Agile project? And it was the velocity and the burn down chart, right? Velocity makes sense, right? They already estimated it. So burn down chart is just a great visualization tool. Everybody knows it's important to visualize. So he decided to run with these two metrics. So the next thing he did is he actually added contingency budget into the Agile budget. So this is what happens when people know that there is a contingency budget, right? So the last thing that he asked was, okay, what do I do as a manager to successfully run the Agile funded project? And the list was comprehensive. You can see there, facilitate and support teams, encourage continuous improvement, facilitate communication and collaboration, mentoring and coaching. The one thing that was missing from the list was keeping people accountable. Because we all know, once you call something Agile, the people will keep themselves accountable from the very first day. The one thing though, that he noticed was the performance measurements, such as KPIs. So naturally, he did add some personal KPIs for the team, because it is important, they measure in the velocity already, right? So we need KPIs to make sure that the velocity stays on track. So how do you all think this ended for Richard? It was a complete and utter failure. Yeah. So his business was gone, the project was a failure, and he was thinking like, how did this happen? I think I did everything right. I asked all the important questions. I did everything as I was told to do. Well, he blamed the team, right? The team was terrible, so that's why he failed. And if I would ask you to take one thing away from this presentation, it would be this, the loudest voice is rarely the one that we need to listen to. And AI, the generative AI, the ChatGPT, and the likes of it right now are not the wisdom of the crowd. They are the representation of the loudest voice that there is. So, if you want to know how to do Agile funding, and if you don't want to become the next preacher, stop by a booth and grab a copy of Agile Bulletin. So what we did this year is we asked a lot of friends in the community to share what they think is important right now, and to share what the topics are really burning for the community. And we have over a dozen people who decided to contribute. So we printed out a magazine with over a dozen articles, and one of them is 3 easy tips to set up a successful Agile funding, and it's not the best one. It's mine, so yeah, we have much better articles there. So guys, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for showing up, and enjoy the conference. Stop by.
Thanks, Ivan.
Thank you.
I picked up a copy of the bulletin, and I'm going to be reading it. So we used to have the best in Agile articles every year, and we haven't had that the past couple of years. So I always love any collection of Agile information, just to say, what do other people think? What are they writing about? So some thought leadership in that bulletin. So make sure you stop by their booth. Okay, last.